Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. This is Masters32210. Come up with a retarded idea. I think it's just gonna work. Trailer hitch for the back of my riding mower. I know what a lot of you are gonna say. Oh well, you've got the little plate on the bottom. You can just plug a trailer bowl in. Yes and no. You know what? I have a piece right here. I can kind of show you what I'm talking about. Let me flip this camera around. I'll show you what I'm talking about and what I've designed already, and y'all can hang out with me while we finish this project together. Alright, here's a piece. Don't mind the shop, it's a complete utter mess while I work on 1,000 other projects. This is a back part of the plate that this was from the racing mower project that I had done, and y'all kind of remember it by the little stickers. And I've left this around because, well, bits of metal always come in handy for odd projects. Here's what like one of my buddies was telling me how retarded it was what I was doing, and I tried to explain. Now, yes, you have a hole here where your different implements, things that can hook up to your mower, you'll just slide it up to here and run a little thin pin through. The problem is this hole is not big enough for a trailer bowl. I did see the other day, a neighbor of mine did have... he was yanking his trailer around, but it had smaller tires than any of mine do, and it wasn't going to work. So this is kind of the contraption what I've designed, all out of scrap bits. Right here is 2x4 box steel. I had like a 20-foot stick that I've been slowly cutting off of it. There's actually like a piece that's 5 times bigger than that still laying around. So what I did, took the sawzall, lopped it off, so I was able to work with something smaller. Came in the shop and like I said, let me dissect all this. Well, let's go to a certain point because I know as soon as I move this, I will move it anyway. So far everything here was scrap bits. Put on the old chop saw. This is a 9-inch piece wide. This is 6-inch, I believe, and it's nothing more than just complete, like I said, 2x4 box steel. And we'll get this camera close so you can actually see what I'm talking about. It's a nice thickness. So what I got thinking, I said, well, I went by the hardware store before I ever came home. This project's been on my mind. I went ahead and picked up some 3/8 by 3-inch bolts. These are grade 5. Now, I know somebody's going to say, why don't you buy grade 8? Because I'm broke. I've bought what I could afford, and I believe with 6 bolts, even with the weight of any of the trailers I'm going to put on there, should not stress any of these out. If I do have an issue where I'm going to be at the Off-Grid Education Center, which is part of my second channel, Masses-Outdoors with an S, you can check that project out. There's a hardware store literally 5 minutes down the road, so it's not going to be no biggie. And then I would spend the 20 bucks for the 6 bolts I need. I came out today, I believe, around 13. No, it was around 10 bucks or something or less for 6 bolts, 6 flat washers, 6 lock washers, and 6 lock nuts. So, like I said, to keeping it simple, nothing crazy. Started out, like I said, with a 9-inch piece. Once I had that cut, I went ahead and cut this part. I figured out how many inches I need to come off of the mower, and to give me some room in between the back fender and where the bowl's going to be, I found this, which is from one of the rail buggies. This was somebody's homemade motor mount. Since it's been sitting on my shelf probably for 6 years or more, figured I'll leave the other one laying around for something, unless somebody wants a trailer hitch like mine. Then I can make it and sell it for a cheap reduced price. Alright, so after playing around with this, what I've come up with, so I figured the bowl does fit in that hole perfect. It has a little bit of wiggle room, nothing major. The problem is this will not fit in here. It actually fits too good, falls right through. So what I did was I went ahead, I have another piece of angle that's about the same exact thickness. I figure stub that on, perfect width across. Take that, weld all this together, and bolt it up. But then I got thinking, well, because this is coming out, this is going to actually be about the 7-inch, 1/8 mark. So I got thinking, well, even if I run full bead all the way down, all the way around, even I'm going to weld everything. This piece of metal started out, it's probably 8 inches long. Originally it was supposed to somehow go right up under there, and I don't know what happened. I kept cutting it, messing around with it, ended up making it a little bit shorter, but it doesn't matter. I think that should actually be good. Put a little gusset in there, weld that up. That should actually be dead on perfect. Save y'all the time and the headache of watching me just cut metal and clean it. Figured I'd cut to the chase. Went ahead and everything was pre-cut. When I got home from work, I was actually let me go 2 hours early, and I got paid for it. So work basically paid me to work on this. Monday, we'll see. Today is Thursday the 28th, I believe. September 28th is today. Monday, which is in a couple more days, I believe it's going to be the 2nd of October or 3rd, somewhere in there. This will be being put to good use because I am taking stuff into the woods to the Off-Grid Education Center, like I said, as part of my second channel. With that being said, this has got to get done today. So far, the next step is going to be, I believe, we'll just put a wire brush on the angle grinder, get all this cleaned up so it's ready for welding. That's going to be the next step. Hopefully I don't bore y'all too much with that. We're going to do a real quick, speedy cleanup process. If I have to, I'll just clean up what I need to weld and go from there. Stay tuned for the next clips. We're going to be cleaning this up, and it'll be time to start welding. Well, there she goes. Quickly cleaned her up with a wire brush. Had to open up the big shop door, but it's all done. So the next step is I got to undig my welder, which is unfortunate, literally in this crammed garage. So I'm going to go ahead and unbury that, go ahead and set it up. I think we'll go ahead and start just tacking all these bits together. Once everything is definitely tacked, then I go through and I'll do a full entire weld. Well, here she goes. She's fully welded. Hot as hell. Oh, you know what? I goofed up. Got one more piece we didn't even add. I guess let's weld her in real quick. Alright. The magic part that I forgot. I hope it's dead straight. If it's curved, I think it's kicked in a hair. Doesn't matter, because what it's doing is, as the trailer is going to be pushing on the ball, it's going to be kind of pulling on this whole unit, which would be pulling on the bolts, which would be kind of, this is just adding a little reinforcement to this, which I doubt with a full weld. Need to be cleaned up weld. I got slag everywhere. I think I have the welder set a little hot, but I'd rather have it hot and burning the hell out of it in, so it's all one complete unit. She's done. Let's see. Still should clean up some of the slag. I'm gonna clean up whatever I can and probably say the hell with the rest. Because why? It's just going to be functioning. I can care less if it looks pretty, as long as this does what it's supposed to. Now we're going to grab this, because this thing is very, very, very hot. And that's the beginnings of a custom trailer hitch. You see it, guys. I don't know if anybody else has done this on YouTube, but I'm going to call this a Masses 32210 original right here in Chop Shop Customs. Look at that. Completely custom, heavy duty. Maybe overbuilt. I don't think I needed it this heavy duty, but it's here, and why not? So far, this would have been all scrap material headed out to scrap yard, but that's why I keep bits and pieces around, because I find uses for all of it. So in the end, I basically got it free, or what would be considered free, since I was going to throw most of this away. Look at that. Completely. So the next step is going to be just simple steps. I'm going to let this cool down first. Once it is cooled down, I'll take it over to the mower. I will take the battery loose, because it's going to go right the space in between the back wall and the battery. So I'll go ahead and take the battery out so I don't accidentally drill through my battery. We'll pop the tray out, hold this up, line it up. I'll just use the drill to quickly make 6 marks, pull it away, finish drilling it, and you know what, we'll go ahead and mount it and paint it right on the machine itself. So off to the next clip. We're just going to let this calm down, because it is very much radiating a lot of heat. Alright, we're back at the mower. This whole bracket has had a considerable amount of time to go ahead and cool down, thank God. So, yeah, there's a little bit of warmth. Over a half hour, just let it sit. Figured, okay, that's enough time. Went ahead and pulled the battery. Kind of glad I did. Some water in there, so we're going to get rid of that before reinstallation. Went ahead and I'm using my newly acquired Milwaukee drill. So far I love these. These run the M12 lithium batteries. I had a customer come in my business, and he was like, "You want to buy a drill? 35 bucks. Had the case, charger, 2 batteries, everything." Not this drill. What he had was actually an impact driver. He didn't even know what he was selling. So I looked at him and said, "Of course I'll buy it off of you." Very good guy. I've known him for years. Then I informed him what it was, and he could act like he wasn't even sure what he even had to begin with. So I went ahead and invested in the rest of the Milwaukee set. So far, they're phenomenal. I love the power I get out of them. But let me set you all on this tripod, pluck you on the ground, and we're going to go ahead and drill 6 3/8 inch holes. Go ahead and proceed to mount this unit up. Alright, couldn't wait for y'all guys. I had to actually go grab another battery. Camera died in the middle of filming. One of those things you can't foresee. Whew. Sorry, trying to catch my breath. It's humid as hell out here. For being that fall technically started, I don't know, over a week and something ago. Definitely in North Florida, fall doesn't know what the fall is until like next year in February. But as you can see, went ahead and hooked the battery back up. That is done, and you clean off a couple tools. Got the ball on there. The nut for it is just hand snug, but everything else is on there. If you do notice, I only use 4 of the 6, and that's because even my little small Milwaukee drill couldn't get in there, and the locking washer style I'm using is a pain because once it grips. Super hard to get off, so that is definitely on there. I have a feeling this shouldn't be an issue, so that is done. Kind of get a little view with the seat. I think it's perfect. With that trailer I'm going to be toting in and out the woods out there at the Off-Grid Education Center. I think it'll be perfect. I can haul stuff into the site, haul stuff out, and that trailer will just stay there on site. So the only thing I have to do is just take the mower with me. And if I've got other materials on my big trailer, which will only be carrying the mower and ramps and whatever essential goods we need, that'll be in and out. Need to get all this mess cleared by Monday morning. The only reason this is like this is because I had a couple ATVs stolen, if I hadn't said that earlier. So to keep the thieves from coming back to steal this, which was right here in front of the door, never had issues with it for years, I went ahead and put my rail buggy against the door and bagged all of its tires. And the trailer over there has its tires bagged as well. And doesn't matter if you decide to bring a portable air pump or air tank, you'd be pumping all days because I removed the Schrader valves and have the little caps to go on the tires. So they're sitting open for right now, but they'll be soon inflated. This is also going to another home. I'm not selling it. I'm just going to move it to a secure facility until I get a chance to move. Guys, thank you so much. I'm Masses32210. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video, this idea. Please comment, rate, subscribe, and please always share my videos to everybody else. Thank you.